What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with the STEGO TLC. We're going to be talking about the STEGO's new abilities and what exactly they're able to do. Now, straight off the bat, the STEGO is hands down probably one of, what's the right word? One of the coolest updates, I think, that they've done to their models. Now, the base model itself looks kind of more streamlined. The STEGO before was very thick and chunky. It was a big, chunky boy. They've kind of slimmed him down a little bit, made him more streamlined. But the animations as well for him are I think are really good. I think they've done a really good job. So this is the new STEGO. I think he looks really good. Let's jump on him now. And the first thing you'll notice is that his plates change as soon as you get on him. So let's jump off him again. You can see they go to normal plates. We jump back on him and they actually change colors. I think that's probably sick. Like, I think that's so cool. Now, as well as that, let's just get that up, and we got stupid levels that we need to get into ourselves just so that we can show you guys. Actually, we don't need to worry about that. So you can see here that he's currently got these plates. We can actually change these plates, and the animations for him, I think, are absolutely dope as you change plates. So he has 3 different backplate modes. Now, each of these modes allow him to do something different. First off, we have, what do we have activated at the moment? I think we have the hardened, but it actually tells you at the top of the screen when you change them. So at the moment, we'll start with the heavy plate. Now, the heavy plate keeps them nice and flat and wide. And what this ability does is it applies a slow when attacking with the basic tail whip. So this bad boy right here, it'll apply a slow to any creatures that are attacking you. Now, this is also the best mode on the STEGO to use for thatch harvesting. So if you want to harvest thatch with your STEGO, make sure that you have the heavy plate mode activated, and that'll enable you to harvest thatch. If we come over to these bushes, you'll find that we actually aren't able to harvest the berries on them. And you can see here, this poor parasaur is unable to run away from us because of our slow. You can see him. Normally, parasaurs run away at the first moment of danger. You'll see him run away in just a second when the slow wears off. You can see there, that's his normal running speed. So the STEGO slows him down drastically, which is pretty cool. Now, you can also see that there's this red reticle on our screen. This means that this creature is able to be impaled. Check that out. How cool is that? So I reckon that's really cool. Now, you can use this to impale and immobilize players as well as small creatures. So I don't believe you'll be able to do it to anything above a parasaur. For example, if we were to spawn in a Carno right now, I don't think this ability will work on the Carno, but we'll give it a shot. I'm pretty sure it's like parasaurs and below. We'll give him a shot here. You can see here there's no red reticle, which means it's a big no-no. So it's a bit of a shame, but I mean, honestly, it's totally cool. But with this ability, you're actually able to deal a decent amount of knockback as well as keep whatever it is that's trying to attack you slowed. So you can pair that knockback with just a never-ending attack on whatever it is that he's trying to kill you. Like said Carno at the moment. He's unable to get close enough to us to deal any damage. Hold on, we just had the red reticle there. Let's try this. Can we impale him? Okay, so we can't impale him. No, we did. Okay, so you can do it to Carnos. Okay, so that's a good sign. What's above a Carno? Probably an aloe, but I definitely don't see us doing it to an aloe. So it looks like you'll be able to do it to Carnos and creatures below Carnos, because if you can do it to Carnos, you'll be able to do it to the smaller things. I'm going to test it out on this RG real quick. See if we can impale the RG. Definitely would be able to do it to Sabertooth and stuff like that. Come here, big fella. Let's see if we can impale this guy. It's coming up with a red reticle, so I'm going to say that's a yes. We just have to try and line up the attack. That's the only issue. It seems like you can only do it when the red reticle itself comes up, but because we're getting attacked by the RG, I don't know if that's preventing us from actually doing it, if that makes sense. Alright, let's kill this RG real quick. Actually, no, let's see if we can grab him. Okay, it doesn't look like we can grab him, but I said that about the Carno and we managed to. Alright, so the Sabertooth is still alive. Let's grab him. It looks like they have to be very close for you to be able to do it, so they have to be sort of within your tail swing. And it does look like that if you get interrupted while doing it, you will lose them from your grip. But like, check that out. Oh, we're out of stamina. And it does constantly drain your stamina as well, which is another issue. Let's just go infinite stats here just to get our stamina back and drop that back down. All right, so now we don't have infinite stats activated. But you can see there, look at that. So our stamina is constantly draining, but it's so worth it. So that's his new impaling tail attack. that is also his hardened plate mode. Let's move on to the next one. Now, oh, I forgot to mention. Primary attack, once again, is the same one. To impale, it's your right click, and you need to do it when the red reticle comes up. That'll mean you're pretty much set to do it. To change the plates, you need to press C on computers, and then the thumbsticks. I think it's the right thumbstick on consoles, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we're going to change plate modes. So now we're in the sharpened plate mode. Now, this will apply an armor penetration effect when attacking with the tail whip, and this is the mode you want to use for harvesting berries. So you can see there's like a yellow glow tinge to it. Now, I believe this will work on dino tames as well as players. Because because saddles technically count as armored for your dinos, you will get penetration with this. So how we're going to test this, we're going to come over here real quick. We'll show you guys the berry capabilities of him. Actually, that's probably not a good idea to test on these guys. Let's go grab some berries. Why are there no berries in this section of the map? I literally flew over here because I thought there were berries. Okay, here we go. We've got a ton down here. All right, so let's just do this. Now, as well as that, he does have a berry weight reduction on him as well. So look at the difference. So these normally weigh 10. They weigh 2.5. So that's 85%? No, 75% weight reduction with berries, which honestly makes the stego much more viable than the trike now in terms of berry gathering, because look at how many berries we just gathered. Look at all that. Look at all those berries, baby. And the weight reduction on them as well is really good. So he gets a 75% weight reduction on berries, which is awesome. I think that's really cool. And I like how he's got the different modes. Okay, so we're going to do the testing now to see if he gets the armor penetration on dino saddles. So what we're going to do is we're going to summon in another stego. We're going to give it a 25 armor saddle. Oh, hold on. We're going to give it a 25 armor saddle. And what that will allow us to do is to gauge whether or not we get armor penetration. So we're going to whistle passive here. We're going to do that. We are going to attack him. Okay. We're going to attack him with our normal mode. So let's unclaim this guy first. Okay, so he's unclaimed. We're going to switch plate modes. So sharpen mode gives us the armor penetration. We're going to go to our heavy plate. We're going to attack him. If we can hit him. Okay, so we hit for 38 damage with our heavy plate. Let's switch to our sharpened plate, which is the armor penetration. Okay, so it hit for 38. 38. Okay, I don't believe it gets armor penetration off dinos. Because by the looks of it, we're still doing the same amount of damage. Let's just try this real quick. Stego 5-1. That was the wrong GFI command. Let's try this. That's the blueprint. Okay, so let's try this instead. So now we've got a better saddle. Let's chuck that on him. Switch plate modes. We'll go just this one. Okay. So, oh, he's not unclaimed. Let's unclaim him. Like that. Alrighty. Alright, so we hit for 44 now. No, 19. Okay, so we hit him for 19. Let's... Oh, because we hit the Yankee. Let's go to our sharpened plate mode. Alright, we're still hitting for 19. So I don't believe it's going to apply to dinos, to tame dinos. But if we swap here... And we swap again. Let's see if there's a damage reduction, damage difference between the modes. They all hit for the same amount. So all the modes hit for the same amount of damage. I would just say that the sharpened plate mode will work on enemy players. So if you want to use your tail attack on enemy players, you'll get the armor penetration off it, which means you can pretty much kill them quicker. So it is probably worth it to use it on enemy players, but against tames, it doesn't look like it. We're going to go over the next mode, which is the hardened plate mode. And that is this bad boy right here, the ones with him standing straight up. Let's just deactivate creative mode as well. Now, this mode will give you a damage reduction buff. So you attack stuff and it will allow you to take less damage. As well as that, this is the mode you want to use to harvest wood. You'll get more wood harvesting with this mode in comparison to, say, the sharpened plate mode, which you... Sorry, not the sharpened. The heavy plate mode, which you would use for thatch harvesting. You can see the difference here, so let's hit the tree now. And you can see there we're getting much more thatch. And we also weren't getting any berries with the hardened plate mode. So I know it's a lot of information to take in, guys. I apologize, but we're doing our best here. So you can see here that you actually don't get any berries with the hardened plate mode, which is the mode you need to use for wood. Now, this also applies a damage reduction buff to your stego. So for example, we'll attack something like this Kentro here. We don't have creative mode on. All right, let's go into our heavy plate. Actually, we'll go into sharpened plate. Let's hit the Kentro. Okay, so he's hitting us for 5 damage. If we switched to hardened plate, you can see there 2 damage. So if you want to use your stego to go and soak turrets, it's definitely possible. Well, I mean, it was possible before, but it's even better now because of the hardened plated mode. You can see there that the Kentro was hitting us for 5 before. We switched to this mode and he's now only hitting for 2. So what we're going to do now, we are going to bring in a Rex just to see how much of a damage reduction that does to us. Let's go Rex. What level are you, big fella? Level 130. All right, pretty good level to test it on. So let's switch modes here. So we're taking 99 damage. 62 damage. Let's switch again. So that damage is reduced by half. So the stego takes 50% less damage from any source of damage in hardened plate mode, which is really cool. That's really good. Now, as well as that, the final ability of the stego is that the rider is prevented from dismounting effects and attacks. So any effects or attacks that would dismount you from the back of a stego are prevented. While using the tail whip attack, which is his basic attack, I believe. I don't think it's... I'm pretty sure you just can't get ejected off your stego at all. Because if we look at the top here, you can see there, prevent dismount. Underneath the hardened plating, I know there's a lot of stuff up there, and we've got the levels and everything. Let's just do this real quick. So you can see there at the top, hardened damage reduction and prevent dismount. Now, if you switch to all plate modes will have this. So you actually can't get dismounted off your stego at all, which is a very, very broken, not broken, but very good ability for PvP, especially if you're using a stego as a soaker. And now that he's got this hardened plate mode, it's definitely worth investing in one of these guys as a turret soaker, because yeah, they just take 50% less damage from soaking turrets, which is pretty nuts if you ask me. It's going to be pretty good. But yeah, guys, that's everything new with the stego. All in all, I also think this is a really good TLC alongside the mammoth. I think it's hard to say. I think the stego got the better end of this stick because of the... What's the right word? Because people will use stegos more often in comparison to mammoths, I think. Hopefully the TLC changes that and that that's not the case anymore, that they'll use both more. But I definitely think the stego got the better end. But look, we're actually impaling the Rex here as well. So I think you can use this impale attack on everything. I think you just immobilize the smaller creatures, which, that's nuts. Because that's just like continuous damage while holding it in place. That is pretty crazy. So all in all, guys, I reckon the stego is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. But nonetheless, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below for more. But yeah, guys, hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.